Hi, my name is Dom Virgilio, and I'm doing this from my home studio in Oregon in the United States. And I'll be talking about the compressor from a practical standpoint using a piece of music that I'm working on. So this will just be a straight demo of the application of applying a compressor to a vocal track, and we'll kind of see the before and the after and what the different effects are. So here we are in Logic Pro. This is my DAW, and I'll just show you what I've been working on. This is a simple piano part, and I tried to add some dynamics to it. Some places are a little softer, some places are a little louder. And then I was looking at what sort of vocals I would put on top of it. And what I usually do when I'm starting something is I'll just count in, just saying numbers to get an idea of how lyrics might sound good in a particular song. So what I've done in this particular case, I just started saying some numbers, and you'll hear the vocal before compression. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, as you see, when I say 4, 5, 6, it's very low. You can barely hear it with the music. The first part, 1, 2, 3, is probably about the correct volume, and then it will continue with another series of numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Really too low there. 7, 8, 9. You can hear that, and then these will be too low. 11, 12. Okay, so let's say that this was lyrics that I had put down that I was very happy with. I had captured a performance that I liked, but I wanted to bring the lows louder and the loudest pieces a little softer. In other words, I want to compress the dynamic range. And what I can do is I can use the Logic Pro compressor. And what I've chosen to do is to start with VCA smashed. And as we've learned in the lecture, there's a variety of parameters. What this one does is it gives that initial gain to the more quiet parts, and then it does a fairly quick roll-off with this knee setting of 0.0. So we're going to amplify things that are low, and then we're going to flatten out because we don't want to make the loud things too loud. I'm going to set auto, and I'm going to allow the release to be at its appropriate level. And I set the compressor threshold, the gain, and the limiter threshold, because the limiter is on, at a point that I felt I was getting this knee to work appropriately. In other words, my lows in this particular track of vocals needed that amplification, and then the other parts needed it to remain about the same. So this is where I set it up. Now, if you remember in the lecture, we did not have auto gain on typically, and I have auto gain off here as well. So you have to do this initial setting of the volume to kind of get it to be comparable to something without the compressor. So again, real quick, here it is without the compressor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that part's real low. So what we'll do is we'll bypass, or we'll take off bypass, excuse me. We will now go with the compressor. You'll notice it's going to be loud. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm going to bring that down a little bit because I don't have auto gain. Let's get that first piece sounding right. 1, 2, 3. Still a little too loud. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's much louder now. 7, 8, 9. And then this we couldn't even hear before. 10, 11, 12. Much clearer, because what we've effectively done is we've brought these high parts down, these low parts up, down, up, and we've compressed the dynamic range. And that's all because we're applying this particular VCA smashed setting, which has a very high gain to start out for things that are quiet, a knee, and then a quick roll off to not affect the loud parts. And then I've set these parameters here, the thresholds, in a way that it best works for this particular track. So this is, again, I'll make the volume even low. You can hear that it keeps popping out. The compressor's doing its job. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And that's compression in the practical sense. Very easy to use. It's built into most DAWs. This particular one has something you can go between a number of presets, which is nice. You can also do different circuit types because there are different hardware compressors that this software is emulating. And we have all those parameters that we learned in the lecture. Thank you very much. I hope this was helpful. Hope you're enjoying the class. I certainly am.